What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to you. Oh, with that video, I'm currently watching the Rockets versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I came to an idea, and there was a question: Is Karl Anthony Towns, and you have a team with Jimmy Butler? Some people like Paul Pierce. He obviously said that Karl Anthony Towns is the best player on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Um, you have some people that say Jimmy Butler. Obviously, Jimmy Butler is a better playmaker and he's a better defender, especially at his positions, than Karl Anthony Towns. But Karl Anthony Towns is a guy that has grown. He has shown a lot of growth. He had came in as a rookie, made an immediate impact, spacing out the floor in the pick and roll, pick and pop, pick and drop, um, and hitting threes occasionally coming down coming down from the court, getting trail threes, or sometimes just letting people draw a lot of attention. He'd just step back to the three and just when they pass it to him, knock it down. But he's a nice guy. He's very calm. He's very collective. He's a sponge. He's a student of the game. He's a guy that want to continue to get better. He want to continue to learn. He continues to push himself. And obviously, you can tell because when he was in college, he fouled a whole lot. He wasn't a great defender. He wasn't a great rim protector. He wasn't even a great offensive player. But as the season went on, he got better, better, and better, and kept adding to his arsenal in weapons. And you can tell that the guy just wanted to be the best player he could. We all had Jalil and D'Angelo Russell and Moutier going higher, but as we start seeing the versatility of Karl Anthony Towns, a guy that can do multiple things and want to continue to get better, and he's showing the work ethic throughout the season and even in the draft. They had their combines, and you just see him working out, knocking down threes. You just see him posting up. You just see him using his jump shot, and he has that soft touch. He has been an 80% free throw shooter since he's been in the league, and that's very amazing for um, uh, especially a big man at that age and a big man at that size to have that soft touch because he's been shooting 80% even his rookie year. He never shot under 80% at all. And his free throw percentage has only gotten better. It hasn't got to 90%, but it got better every season. And so has his 3-point percentage. He shot 34% to 36% this season. Him playing a lesser role, he's been able to get more open and better shots, and he continued to work on that shot in general because he's shooting a colossal 42%, and then his field goal percentage will be up and down because he is a perimeter player a little bit too. But I like that he started going back to the post because I feel like last year Karl Anthony Towns had a situation where he always wanted to get the ball at the 3-point line or at the 15 to 20 feet out, and he wanted to catch it and put the ball on the ground and blow past centers and lay up in and dunk it, but he wasn't finishing that well, and he wasn't, drawing enough fouls. To me, that's just my opinion. To warrant him to continue to take the ball out. And actually, he only shot 5 free throws a game, which is low because Karl Anthony Towns is quicker, faster, and still big and strong. That he should be able to get contact and finish and get contact and get fouls because he is taking up a lot of space and he is quicker than people. So they got to reach over him or bump him to contest a shot or get a block, which is still difficult to do because he's faster than you. But that should warrant more fouls. But at the same time, you do have to give the man credit. They welcomed in Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler came into this season shooting 15 point. I mean, getting 15 points, 17 points. Then he upped his all the way back up to the 20s. You got to give credit for Towns to allow somebody to come to his team, take on a bigger role, take a lot of the offense away from him, even though it had made Karl Anthony Towns' job easier, and they had a ridiculous record for the last couple months. They're coming back down to earth because they've been losing against a lot of teams lately because Jimmy Butler is injured, and that show you the valuableness of Jimmy Butler, a guy that carried a Chicago team to the playoffs last year and was able to win 2 games while Karl Anthony Towns, Zach LaVine, and Andrew Wiggins all damn near averaged 20 points a game last year and didn't even come close to making the playoffs. And for him to come with Jamal Crawford, Jeff T, Taj Gibson, and guys that they bolster they bench with like Tyus Jones and Derrick Rose, you would think that the team would be even better. But they actually um, they did. We knew they was gonna make the playoffs, but they was at that 3-4 seed the whole season. Obviously, with Jimmy Butler going out, they came back down to earth. But if he can come back and they can end the season strong, they can still possibly get that 4th seed, which will give them home court advantage in the first round. But we all liked it, the potential of Karl Anthony Towns. And just like his season at Kentucky, he had put it all unpredictable. He came in the league averaging 10 to 13 points a game the first couple months. And every month his number just kept going up and up. And you started seeing the potential. You started seeing the dominance. And you started to see the fact that Andrew Wiggins was proving the same thing, winning a rookie and sophomore game, winning rookie of the year, putting up, good numbers his first season, coming back the next season, putting up 20 points a game. But Andrew Wiggins was old news because when Karl Anthony Towns came in his rookie season, we all expected him to have a solid season and learning in the NBA. But he ended up winning rookie of the year and averaging 18 and 10, came back the next season and averaged even more, a career high 25 points a game. And on top of that, he shot 36 from three, 83 from the free throw line, and 54 from the field. And he gave you 12 rebounds a game, which is amazing for a guy that's not even 25. And he's only really 22, and he just turned 22 at the beginning of this season. And that's 21 years old, giving you 25 and 10. You're not going to find that often, but that's a testament to his work ethic. That's a testament to him knowing that he has more work to do. He has more to get better at. He has more to learn and more to get better. And you can see him having a coach like Tom Thibodeau, Jeff Teague, and Jamal Crawford and Jimmy Butler helping to make the job easier, helping them make the development easier. And it'll be a monumental thing because remember, he was an all-star. His numbers are down a little bit from last year compared to that 25 and 12 season, but he also is closer to making the playoffs because we don't really know what's going to happen in these last couple games, with these last couple weeks. And, to see him take a lesser role, to see him average less points and want to be better, wanting to be a good defender, wanting to be a good team player. I think that's the question of the title. Is Karl Anthony Towns a franchise player? Everybody kept saying the top 25, under 25, and you see all the big guys. You see Giannis, you see Anthony Davis, you see Karl Anthony Towns, you see Chris Porzingis, but they all have, minor to little playoff success, and that's something that they're going to have to change. And I think Karl Anthony Towns knows that. Watching this game and watching the Spurs game yesterday, I'm looking at him and I'm looking like Karl Anthony Towns. He's doing what he can. He's knocking down shots. He's posting up. He's trying to dominate as much as he can. And obviously, he needs help. But this was a testament coming to his career because people thought, oh, Jimmy Butler went down. This is time, just like Bradley Beal in Washington. This is time for Karl Anthony Towns to show that he can carry a team. He can dominate a game so much that it can help them get into the playoffs. We done seen it with Anthony Davis. We done seen it with Giannis. Them taking over games, at the right time and even carrying the team sometimes offensively, which I did see him do a couple weeks ago against the Spurs, which was completely dominate, and force his team to win that game. But at the same time, with Jimmy Butler, he hasn't really done that as much. Um, and even this month he's averaging 25 points a game and he's giving you 11 rebounds a game, but at the same time he has those 13-point games, that 15-point game, and you can't be great every night. Some tonight the team, somebody steps up, somebody does better, somebody, you might get in foul trouble. You're not going to have a dominant game every single game. So 25 and 11 is amazing, but he has to do more if he wants to get in this playoff spot. They have lost more than they have won on this streak. They actually 4-2. They won 2 games in March and they lost 4 of them. And it looks like they're going to lose against the Rockets, which means they'd be 5-2, in March. And that's a huge blemish on his resume. Considering that they needed to win these games and they needed him to step up. And he got dominated by LaMarcus Aldridge, even though he didn't cover him the whole game. LaMarcus Aldridge was killing them on the boards, killing them inside, and he's on the down end of his career. If you want to make the playoffs, that's a game that you have to win. Obviously, they was fighting the whole game. Obviously, they continued to stay positive throughout the whole game. I liked that they maturity, but they started panicking. They started beating themselves. They started doing some things that they didn't have to do, like making passes, taking quick shots, taking tough shots. and gambling a lot on defense, and that ended up hurting him the most. And that is something you can't really blame on Karl Anthony Towns, because he's really only accountable for himself. He only can control himself. His teammates still can make mistakes. His teammates still can do something stupid. His teammates still can take bad shots, and you can't put the blame fully on him for that, because he only can control himself, and he only can, try to trust his teammates. And if they make bad shots, you gotta live with it anyway. But to go for 23 points, you got to fight a little bit more for that W. You gotta take over with the rebound, take over with the blocks, and that's what we have to see more of. His passion for doing whatever it takes to win a game. And that means grabbing 15, 20 rebounds. That means getting rotation blocks, helping your teammates out, getting steals, going unstoppable in the fourth quarter, demanding the ball every possession to help your team. I'm talking about without Jimmy Butler. Now, if you had Jimmy Butler, you don't have this problem. But that's something that Jimmy Butler has done. He done took big shots. He done came up with blocks. He done came up with steals. Obviously, sometimes it didn't work all the time. Like you seen LeBron James hit a game winner on him with the game on the line, and Jimmy Butler was the one guarding him, and he made it anyway. But you got to have that effort. You got to have that passion to do it. And Karl Anthony Towns, until he can really get that hunger to be dominant, even though I'm not saying he don't have it, he got to want it even more, and he has to do it on both sides of the court consistently. And that should be his next big step next year, because the season almost over. Is that I need to put my team in the position every possession of dominance, whether it is making the right pass, dominating in the low post, just getting a steal, getting a block, helping on defense. Like I said, he tried to do that in Kentucky, but he wasn't doing it efficiently. He was getting a lot of fouls drawn on him, but he wasn't getting the blocks, he wasn't getting the stops, and he still hasn't converted into a rim protector. Even though he is big, he is long, he is lanky, he is wide, and he is athletic, he hasn't been able to destroy and dominate defensively. And we all know that he has improved, he has gotten better, and he does care more. But defensively and offensively, he has to be a little bit more hungry if he want to take this Timberwolves team to the next level. And the only reason why I put it like that, they paid Jeff Teague, they pay Andrew Wiggins $100 million, they paying Jimmy Butler his money, and then if they want to keep him, they gotta give him another extension, and they still paid Gorgie Dane. The problem is he is not the person that has got his contract extended. So it's either they're going to have to pay him $100+ million, which he does deserve, but this team will be stuck in mediocrity because they're barely fighting for a playoff spot right now, and at the same time, they're only going to get more in debt and more in the luxury tax the more they continue to pay their people. And eventually, you're going to have to try to win as much as you can with the talent you have. And that's something that they're going to fall into as they try to speed up the development of Wiggins and Towns and put veterans and good players around them and put a superstar like Jimmy Butler around them. Eventually, you're going to have to be stuck with the roster, and you still going to have to find a way to win games. You still going to have to find a way to win series. You're going to still have to find a way to make the best case and to make the best run at winning the championship. And that means Karl Anthony Towns has to maximize his potential, maximize his abilities, and maximize his talent. And I think he will, because like I said, how he played in rookie season in college and how he dominated even more in his second season, he took that all-star level this year, doing what it made, taking less shots, also, you know, allowing Jimmy Butler to be dominant. But he still got to remember, this is his team. Jimmy Butler came to play with Wiggins. Jimmy Butler came to play with Towns. Towns got to reinsert himself of dominance that he had at the end of the last season and put it on his team and try as hard as both sides on the court to take over no matter what. Play like Iverson, play like Dr. J, play like Michael. Every game could be your last. You never know. Like Chris Bosh, one minute he was an all-star, next minute he was out of the league. If you have a chance to win a championship, if you have the talent, if you have the confidence, you got to make sure you put everything on the line to give yourself a chance. The whole point of the playoffs is to win a championship. The whole point of the season is to make an easier ride to the championship, and easier ride to the finals, and easier ride to the Western Conference by getting a higher seed. They was number 3 at one point, then they fell to 4. Now they at 6, and they're gonna fall even more because they losing to the Rockets right now. You can't have that happen if you're a franchise player. He already had ability to draw people to play with them, Obviously, you gotta give credit to Tom Thibodeau too, but Carl Towns, he can do better, and I want to see it, and I believe he will do it. But as of right now, I can't give him a franchise player tag. He is a star. He is an all-star. He might be all NBA's third team or second, depending on what position they put him at. But he still got to get to that elite level. He's still not elite. He's great. He's dominant to a certain extent, but he's not one of the top 5 players. He's not one of my top 7 players. He's coming, but he's not there yet. Let me know what you guys think about Karl Anthony Towns in the comment section below. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about Karl Anthony Towns and the Minnesota Timberwolves. And do you think they have a chance at a title when Jimmy Butler comes back by the end of the season?